Many of us are familiar with the ancient Minoan palace of Knossos, but did you know that this is not the only ancient Minoan palace that you can visit? Welcome back to History's Happenings. I'm taking you along to another lesser-known historical site that I've found while traveling the world. Today we're in beautiful Crete, Greece, home of the Minoan civilization. This was the oldest civilization in Europe, dating back about 5,000 years ago. And while the Palace of Knossos is pretty famous after its 20th century excavation by Arthur Evans, the Palace of Malia is just as interesting, and it comes without all the controversial 20th century interpretations. The palace as we see it today was built in 1650 BCE, though an older version of the palace had been built about 300 years before that. It was a pretty impressive structure. Take a look at this recreation of what it would have looked like in its heyday. Since it's not as popular to visit, you can take your time and really soak in the atmosphere of each of the areas. And the palace is huge. We've got the west wing here with this grand staircase that used to lead up to another floor. Here is the courtyard where religious ceremonies took place. And this is what is called the crypt, but I was told that it was actually a hall where people would gather. You can see the seats built into the walls of the room if you look here. And I've got to appreciate the gorgeous mountains in the background. Talk about an ancient palace with a view. Next to the palace is the workshop area, known today as Courtier M. Some of the buildings have been identified as the workshops of a potter, a metal worker, and a seal maker. I really just can't get over how much of these buildings survive to this day. It really paints a picture of what daily life would have looked like for the more ordinary craftspeople of this time period. There isn't a ton of information about the site on the signs, but there were guides in every section who very kindly answered all of my questions. I paid €6 to get in, which is a steal for an ancient Minoan palace, if you ask me. This is a site that I can definitely recommend if you ever find yourself on the island of Crete.